If you have ADHD and you've ever been called lazy for procrastinating, this video is going to change how you see yourself forever. Because what looks like laziness, it's your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do. For years, people with ADHD believe they're just lazy. Picture this, sitting at a desk, staring at a simple task, like answering one email, and just not being able to start. Meanwhile, the brain races with 1,000 other thoughts. Did I close the oven door this morning? Why is the neighbor's dog barking? Maybe it's time to learn French. Wait, what was the task again? Sound familiar? Here's what most people don't understand. The ADHD brain isn't broken and it's not lazy. There's actual science behind why this happens, and once you know it, everything changes. Let's explain what's happening in the brain during procrastination. The brain runs on a chemical called dopamine. Think of it as the brain's motivation fuel. Neurotypical brains have a steady supply of this fuel, so they can start tasks even when they're boring or difficult. But ADHD brains, they have what's called a dopamine deficit. There's less motivation fuel available. So when looking at that email, the brain is saying, nope, not enough fuel to start this engine. This is why hyperfocus happens on interesting things for hours. Those activities give the brain the dopamine it needs. But boring tasks? The brain sees them as a threat to its energy reserves. There's another part to this puzzle, something called executive function. This is the brain's CEO, the part that's supposed to say, okay, we need to do this now. But in ADHD brains, this CEO is often overwhelmed or distracted. So it's not laziness, it's experiencing a neurological traffic jam. The brain wants to start the task, but it literally doesn't have the right conditions to begin. Most people with ADHD go through the same cycle. They make huge to-do lists, thinking that will provide motivation, but looking at them creates even more overwhelm. Then comes hours of preparing to start, organizing the desk, making coffee, checking email just once more. The frustrating part? Watching other people just start things. This creates the thought, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just do what I need to do? But here's the key insight. It's not about being lazy, it's about using the wrong approach for this type of brain. The solution is working with ADHD, not against it. This means understanding what actually works for these unique brains and discovering methods that change everything. The breakthrough comes when understanding that ADHD brains need 3 specific things to start tasks. First, the brain needs to think the task is easier than it actually is. Big tasks feel overwhelming, so they need to feel tiny. Second, decision fatigue must be removed. When the brain is already low on fuel, having to make decisions about how to start just drains it further. And third, momentum needs to be created. Once an ADHD brain gets moving, it often wants to keep going. The solution is called a focus primer. Basically a 3 to 5 minute routine that gets the brain ready to actually start things. It's like warming up a car engine before driving. Here's exactly how it works. Start with a brain dump. Write down everything that's swirling in the head onto a piece of paper. This clears the mental clutter. Then pick just 3 things to focus on for the day. Not 20, not 10, 3. Categorize them: 1 main focus task, 1 creative task, and 1 quick admin task. The magic happens when breaking each task down into the smallest possible first step. Instead of write report, write open document and write first sentence. Instead of clean room, write put 5 items in their place. This tricks the brain into thinking, oh, this is easy, and suddenly, starting becomes possible. Using this same routine every morning can honestly change everything. What used to take hours to start now takes minutes. Why does this work? Because it addresses the root causes of ADHD procrastination. By doing a brain dump, mental RAM gets cleared that was clogging up executive function. By choosing only 3 priorities, decision fatigue gets reduced. And by breaking tasks into tiny steps, dopamine-starved brains get quick wins. It's not about forcing productivity, it's about creating the right conditions for the brain to naturally want to start things. If this resonates, try something this week. Tomorrow morning, spend just 5 minutes doing this routine. Brain dump, pick 3 things, break them into tiny steps. Now, if you want to take this further, there's a complete ADHD productivity toolkit in the description below. It's a Notion template that includes the exact focus primer system, pre-built brain dump pages, task breakdown templates, and everything you need to implement this method properly. This isn't just theory, it's a complete system designed specifically for how ADHD brains actually work. The template removes all the guesswork and sets everything up so you can start immediately. Share in the comments how the basic routine goes for you, and if you use the full toolkit, let everyone know what works best. Building a community of people who understand these challenges makes all the difference. Remember, the brain isn't broken, it's just different. And once you understand how it works, you can start working with it instead of against it. If this helped, please like this video and subscribe for more ADHD brain explanations. This channel exists to help you understand why your brain does what it does and how to make it work for you. The next video will cover why ADHD brains can't focus, and it's not what you think.